Hey, what is going on, guys? Star_Scholar 2001 here, bringing you another Pokemon Showdown for you guys today. And today, I'm going to be showing you guys 3 Generation 9 Metronome battles that I did. The first one here is up against this guy named Tortilla Dejo, right? It's a 2v2 style metronome battle. If you don't know what metronome is, it is a move that chooses a random move, any other move in the game that the Pokemon will use. It could be an attack, it could be a healing move, it could be a stat boosting move, any move in the game, right? It could even be, I guess it could even be imposter. Is that a move? I think that's a move, right? That's a move that Dido gets, I think. Anyway, yeah. So, let's get right into it. This is the first match, right? I went for Skeledirge because it is my favorite out of the Gen 9 starters. And I also went for, I believe its name is Ting-Lu. The moose looking legendary from Gen 9. Just because I think it's cool and yeah, needed something strong, wanted a legendary, I chose Ting-Lu, right? So let's get going. Like I said, okay, well, he used Gigalith and Drampa. I use Skeledirge and Ting-Lu, right? So I have this running on really slow just so I could actually read the chat to see what moves each Pokemon uses and it doesn't go too fast and confuse me. So yeah, let's go. So my Ting-Lu uses Volt Switch on the Gigalith, not doing much damage. My Skeledirge uses Matcha Gotcha, which I don't know what that is. I've never seen that move before in my life. The Jumper ends up using Flash Cannon on my Ting-Lu, not doing much damage. And the Gigalith ends up using Dark Pulse on my Ting-Lu, which is resisted. I'm so glad that he got a resisted attack. Ting-Lu, once again, used Simple Beam on Gigalith. Never knew that was a move. First time I'm hearing it. Skeledirge used Final Gambit on the Gigalith, taking it out, but taking out itself, bringing it to a 1v1. The Jumper used Grassy Slide. Never heard of it. Not doing much damage. But I terrestrialized into Psychic type. And then I used Petal Blizzard. And then the Jumper follows up with an Icicle Crash. And I come back. And, oh well, he terrestrialized into Normal type. And I end up using Crunch. So we're both in the yellow, but he has less health and he is burnt. I don't know what burnt him, but anyhow, the Jumper used Sweet Kiss, and then I'm faster. I use Bite. Down goes the Jumper. That is a victory for me. GG's. On to the second battle. Alright, the second battle is up against Falcon Thing. Here we go. He uses Zoroark and Mega Heracross, which I did not know you can choose to use Megas in this game mode while making your team for it. If I realized, I probably would have went for Mega Gengar. Gengar is my favorite Pokemon, and it's my favorite Mega. So I would have used Mega Gengar, but I didn't know. So, turn 1, the Heracross actually first turn terrestrialized into Ghost type. Alright, so he's a Ghost type for the entirety of the battle. And his Zoroark is faster. It used Pain Split, which did nothing. Because the battle just started, so that was useless for him. Alright, and then my Ting-Lu ends up using Cosmic Power, which is so good. And it hits the Zoroark Oh, it actually hits both of them. I didn't realize it hit both of them. So cosmic power, no, it boosts the opponent's defense and special defense. Why does it do that? I don't know. Anyway, but then my Skeledirge ends up Giga Draining the Zoroark, which does nothing. The Heracross Metronomes and uses Fury Cutter on my Skeledirge, which does nothing. Zoroark ends up using Psybeam on my Ting-Lu, which does nothing. And then Ting-Lu ends up using Skitter Smack on the Zoroark, which does nothing. And this Zoroark has competitive, so I gave it a debuff and it just left the debuff. It ignored the debuff and just took it away. Skeledirge ends up using Shore Up, which I don't know what that did. I believe it. Okay, it looks to me like it just restored its HP. Heracross went to Strength Sap, which I don't know what that does. Never heard of that move before in my life. The Zoroark uses Body Slam on my Ting-Lu. And then Ting-Lu uses Crunch on the Zoroark and brings it down to yellow. The first good move I've rolled. Skeledirge uses Roleplay, don't know what that does. And then the Heracross ends up using Aqua Step on Skeledirge. That was good for him. But I decided to Terastallize into Water type, in case the Heracross happens to roll another water move onto my Skeledirge. I did not want my Skeledirge to die. I did not want that to happen. So I Terastallized into Water type. And then the Heracross ends up using Alluring Voice on my Ting-Lu. Don't know what that does. It does damage, I think. And then the Zoroark uses Skill Swap. So my Ting-Lu ends up getting competitive. And Zoroark ends up getting Vessel of Ruin. Alright, then Ting-Lu ends up using Ember. It doesn't do much damage to the Zoroark. And Skeledirge ends up using Dragon Tail. It does good damage, but since this is a 2v2, there is no Pokemon for it to switch into. The Heracross ends up using Liquidation. I am so glad that I decided to Terastallize, because that would have killed me. The Zoroark uses Ember. Doesn't do much damage. Ting-Lu uses Roleplay. Don't know what that does. Skeledirge uses Synthesis and it heals itself. Absolutely wonderful. The Heracross uses Bitter Blade. Don't know what that does, but it hit my Ting-Lu. It did 13% damage. Zoroark used Rock Throw on to my Ting-Lu. Doesn't do much damage. Somehow I'm still losing track, even though I have it set to really slow. The Ting-Lu ends up using Alluring Voice again. And then my Skeledirge uses Stealth Rock, which does nothing for me in this matchup. But the Heracross ends up using Flame Charge, not doing much damage, because of course now I am Water type. Zoroark ends up using Magic Room. Again, I don't know what that does. Never heard of it. Skeledirge uses Assurance. And finally, the Zoroark goes down. And then Ting-Lu ends up using Wild Charge. Doesn't do much damage to the Heracross, unfortunately. Heracross uses Facade. Doesn't do much damage. Facade wouldn't do much damage anyways, because one, he's not burnt, he's not poisoned, and he's not paralyzed. Alright, Skeledirge ends up using Flame Charge, not doing much damage. Ting-Lu ends up using Ice Shard, not doing much damage. This guy's defense is buffed so much. He uses Circle Throw and manages to KO my Ting-Lu, bringing it to 1v1. Skeledirge uses Judgment, but of course it's immune because it's Ghost type. Heracross ends up using Psych-Up. And then I use Tea-Time. I don't know what that did. Skeledirge ends up using Sand Tomb, which I believe does recurring damage each turn. Heracross uses Magic Room, which actually wore off the Magic Room. So, and then I use Rest, healing myself, but now I am asleep, unfortunately. The Heracross uses Glacialite. Does not much damage. I do have Defiant. He uses Zip Cannon, but missed. I'm so glad for that. I'm fast asleep. Heracross is hurt by Sand Tomb. Heracross ends up using Hydro Cannon. Terrestrialize saved me once again. That is the third time my Terrestrialization has saved me. He gets hurt by Sand Tomb again. And then he forfeits the match, giving me the victory. Absolutely wonderful. On to the third and final match. Alright, this final match is against... I'm not even gonna say that username because it's just a bunch of jumbled up letters. So I'm just gonna say her name is BB. Alright, so you all know the drill. She is using Rillaboom and Meowscarada, two grass type starters. Me with my Skeledirge and Ting-Lu. Turn 1, the Meowscarada is faster, uses Hydro Pump, super effective on my Skeledirge, that is not good. Ting-Lu uses Fisher, which the Meowscarada avoided. Rillaboom uses Rock Polish, which boosts its speed times 2. And then Skeledirge uses Electric Terrain, so now Electric Terrain. I Terrestrialize into Water type, avoiding the Water type again. Rillaboom uses Pluck, and then Meowscarada uses Poison Powder, but my Ting-Lu avoided. Then Ting-Lu uses Power Split. It has no reason to. Skeledirge uses Whirlpool. Rillaboom is now trapped in a Whirlpool, reoccurring damage. The Rillaboom also ends up using Whirlpool, which is so good. And it managed to hit my Ting-Lu, so now my Ting-Lu is taking recurring damage. The Meowscarada used Blood Mood on my Skeledirge, which took it down more than half HP. My Ting-Lu used Scary Face. Skeledirge ends up using Victory Dance, which boosts my attack, defense, and speed. And then Rillaboom uses Rock Slide. It's resisted on Ting-Lu, not doing much damage on Skeledirge. And hold on a second. The Rillaboom died. Apparently my Skeledirge ends up using Avalanche, which is an ice type move. And since grass is weak against ice, the Rillaboom went down in a one shot. Because it was super effective. Goodbye Rillaboom. It is now a 2v1. Meowscarada ends up using Dazzling Gleam. Super effective on my Ting-Lu, but still, I live. Skeledirge ends up using Wrap, so that's reoccurring damage for the Meowscarada for a few turns. Ting-Lu uses Hyper Beam, does decent damage. Meowscarada used Hold Back, don't know what that does. The Electric Terrain disappeared. And then Skeledirge uses Uproar, causing the Meowscarada to go down to red HP. Meowscarada uses Calm Mind, which boosted its special attack and special defense. And then it got hurt by Wrap, so that is amazing. And it seems like she terrestrialized into grass type at one point. Okay. Alright. Turn 7, Skeledirge ends up using Uproar again. And Oh, that's so tragic. What a tragic way to end the battle. The guy lost to an uproar. He lost to uproar. Oh, that's actually funny. Well, that is all three of the Metronome battles. I do plan to do more Metronome battles, but the Metronome battles that I do in future would probably be live Metronome battles and not just pre-recorded. So yeah. But if you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like down below, subscribe if you have not, turn on notifications so you do not miss any future videos or live streams. Click the link in the description, it will take you straight to all of my individual social links. My name is Star_2001 and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, and as always, have a great one. See you all later. Goodbye.